Let's talk about Colorado and what we can expect from Coach Prime's Buffaloes in the post-Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter era. What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If that is something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. What do you think we're going to see from Colorado in 2025? Is 9 wins the new normal? Can they go for 10? Or do you expect them to take a step back, given what they have lost, not just to the NFL, but to the transfer portal? I'm also going to take this opportunity to remind you we have an audio podcast on Apple and Spotify. And for those of you that are kind enough to go to Apple and Spotify and leave us a 5-star review, I am prepared to send you one of these stickers and a handwritten note from me expressing my thanks for doing such a thing. All you got to do is leave those reviews and then go to the form in the description below, and I will send you your sticker. Also want to point out, we're recording this on Sunday, July 6th, and this is going to be a day in history that many Formula One fans are, well, rather excited about. Like this British Grand Prix, I mean, it was amazing. They've delivered the last 3 years that they've had the British Grand Prix, but it was amazing for a number of reasons. One, Lando Norris got his maiden victory his first British Grand Prix victory, and the dude's from Britain. He grew up going to Silverstone, grew up watching Lewis Hamilton and others win that championship, and it's great that he got this GP win. I also enjoy that 239th time is the charm for Nico Hülkenberg, who has been a consummate professional, who doesn't wreck cars, somehow continues to find himself in a car, even if it's at the bottom of the field, and put a Sauber on the podium at the British Grand Prix. Pretty outstanding stuff for him. It's a guy that I make jokes about before then, because even Lance Stroll had gotten a podium before Nico Hülkenberg had gotten a podium. So to see him do that, and then in a car that has basically not been that competitive, one of the 4 slowest cars on the grid, I just want to take that moment and say, hey, very cool for those of you that ride with the Hulk. Very, very cool for those of you who are going to see them become Audi next year. We're getting ready to welcome Cadillac into Formula One. And I hate this Ferrari car. I hate this Ferrari pit wall. I am not okay. It is a 2023 Mercedes. That's what that car is. I feel like they made this car just to mock us, and that pit wall is incompetent. Lewis Hamilton had taken 12 consecutive podiums at the British Grand Prix and didn't on Sunday because the car is god-awful and it sucks. Hate that car. Also, Karma coming for Max Verstappen, coming for, I guess, Oscar Piastri, who basically robbed himself of a victory. But now that I've done the F1 recap, let's do a little Colorado football here. Oh, we're getting close to doing live shows that are going to become pretty regularly. Probably going to follow some really cool games. So look forward to that as we get closer to media days. So the reason I wanted to go ahead and do the Colorado preview is Big 12 Media Days begins Tuesday, and we expect them to be loaded. Among the topics is going to be, yes, Deion Sanders. Probably going to get an update on his health if there is one that he wants to provide. I tend to really wait on folks to say things out loud before we start talking about them. Last time that we heard something regular, right? Bucky was telling everybody, hey, I'm in Texas with my dad. And, you know, he'll tell y'all something when you want to tell y'all something. But then Prime says, hey, I'm fine. I'm cool. I'll be back at work. Don't worry about it. So we'll take him at his word on that. I got to tell you, man, if it wasn't Deion Sanders, we would be talking about one of the great turnarounds in college football. But because it's Deion Sanders, don't nobody want to give this man his credit. Like, we've been at this for damn near 5 years, and we still got people that are mad about Deion Sanders being Deion Sanders. I mean, he got his quarterback of the present and his quarterback of the future, right? Kaidon Salter, Juju Lewis. And he's also losing what I think is the most talented quarterback that Colorado's had since Cordell Stewart, in his son Shedeur, who completed more than 71% of his passes, was a 4,000-yard passer. Pretty friggin' outstanding himself. Oh, yeah, produced a Heisman winner at Colorado with a two-way player that had a ridiculous amount of catches, ridiculous amount of yards, and multiple picks, right? On top of 9 wins and atop the Big 12 standings. But replacing those two players Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter is going to be the talking point for most national talk shows, right? Because those are the guys that move the needle. Those are the guys that are playing in the NFL. And those are the guys that most people think of outside of Deion Sanders when we talk Colorado football. And you can't underscore what they meant. The offense did not function if Shedeur Sanders didn't throw the football. More on that in a little bit, but I'm being quite literal about that. It did not move unless Shedeur Sanders was dropping back to pass, okay? Felt much more like Mike Leach's Texas Tech than I think many people wanted to acknowledge. But Mike Leach will also be the first person to tell you the air raid is not about throwing the ball all over the yard. The air raid is about getting the ball to your best players, as often as you possibly can in the most efficient manner that you possibly can. So Graham Harrell throwing to Michael Crabtree is how you draw it up. You know what I'm saying? Shedeur throwing to Travis Hunter, how you draw it up. We'll get into Will Shepard and LaJohntay Wester and Jimmy Horn a little bit later on. But I wanted to acknowledge that because we're talking about a program that was gone 1-11 before Prime got there and had one winning season since 2005 at all when we're talking about playing 12 games, right? We don't count the COVID year for a lot of stuff. And then goes and doubles the win total, right? And people want to talk noise because they go 4-8. And then we talking about going 9-4, and it's like, oh, well, they didn't play nobody. Oh my God, dude, what y'all need to make up your mind. Either they ain't play nobody or he can coach. Which is it? You know? And I once again produced the number 2 pick in this year's NFL draft and a friggin' Heisman winner. I'm telling you, if the man's name was different, hell, if it was Rob McElhenney, y'all would love him. You know, it's Ryan Reynolds, y'all would love him because it's Deion Sanders. Y'all feeling some kind of way about it. Don't nobody give a damn about no Wrexham. No Wrexham. They don't even play Premier League. Let me stop. Start dunking on a football team that don't really play at that level yet. I'm not going to do that. I'm not, you know, bless them, Lord. Bless them. I want them to be blessed and highly favored. All the haters, bless them, highly favored. I want that for y'all. I'm praying for you to succeed. Grandmommy, I'm telling you, man, you ain't raised me right. We might have been on one right quick. Last year, we talking about, again, a program that really needed to depend on Shedeur Sanders to move the football because they couldn't run it. They were dead damn last in rushing yards per game in the FBS behind winless Kent State. They could not run the football to save their lives. And when they even just showed a pulse, it went well for them. So what has he done? Prime has added Marshall Faulk to the coaching staff as running backs coach. It's going to help you recruit. It's going to help you develop. You're also getting Warren Sapp, Byron Leftwich to join up in real, jobs. I say real jobs because, like, grad assistant for me is grad assistant. Quality control assistant. When you become defensive line coach, quarterback coach, then we start talking about stuff, right? And you want them 10 on the field offensive assistants. With Salter penciled in as the starter, I just know the run game is going to be better because he is a great runner. It's a guy that's had over 2,000 rush yards, 21 TDs, 3 years at Liberty, right? Threw for damn near 6,000 yards at Liberty. If Dallin Hayden or Micah Welch can just do something, poke it with a stick and move, it's already going to be a better rushing attack by leaps and bounds. And we might even be able to talk about Pat Shurmur's pass-happy offense by necessity, being one that's much more balanced because it can be. Here's wild stat. 2024, again, they didn't have to be anything like good at running the ball. All they really needed to do was show a pulse. I mean that. They were 8-0 last year when they ran for 50 yards or more. 50. And they were 9-1 when they averaged 1 yard per rush. Now, that's not sack adjusted, right? So taking sacks is part of this math that I'm doing here. But, fellas, fall forward. Like, fall forward, fool. FFF. That's all I want, right? I'm saying because that was the difference. It was little stuff like that. Just run the ball. Run the ball something like okay, right? Jordan Seaton going to need some help on that offensive line. If them dudes can start moving people, then we get to see Colorado do what they want to do, which is make the college football playoff. Or, more importantly, for those of y'all of the Barry Gordy generation, when you reach that upper level, your mind, body, and soul must be one. I'm talking about we going from who's the master to playtime's over, boy, to I am. You know what I mean? Catches bullets with his teeth. catches bullets with his teeth. Yeah, you finished it. I ain't finished it, but you can finish it because you're not on the microphone. Finish it. Go ahead. Finish it at home. Finish it in front of television. Yep. There it is. There it is. Say it again. Say it again. I'm going to put it on. Put them shoulder pads on, too. Just direct your feaster to Daddy Green's Pizza. Oh, now I'm back on vanity. I need me a vanity, man. I'm telling y'all. It's been rough out here for you boys on the dating part, dog. Like, your man is on the app now. I'm not going to tell you which app, but the man is on the app. It's wild. It's wild. I be out there in good faith, and I kid you not, ladies just straight up gonna fly in, talk about what's your body count. What? Huh? And then, because the internet is evil, you see me, you see my face, you throw it into the Googles, and all of a sudden, damn, this you? Yes. Click. So, coming to the wide receiving core, it's going to be difficult to replace the production that Travis Hunter and LaJohntay Wester in particular were able to provide, just on general principle. Forget Will Shepard, Jimmy Horn for a second here. You're talking about 1,258 yards and 15 TDs on 96 catches from Travis Hunter, 74 catches, 931 yards, 10 TDs from LaJohntay Wester. That's two dudes. And you're going to ask Hakeem Williams, who's transferring from Florida State, Draylon Miller, who I know many of y'all love, a Debo Samuel type of dude, Omarion Miller, who I think has the potential to be a really, 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 really great wide receiver. You're also going to be looking at a 6'5" FCS transfer that I don't think enough people are talking about in Sincere Brown and former Tulsa wide receiver Joseph Williams to help you pick up this load. Sincere Brown, who had 61 catches, 1,000 yards, and 12 TDs on a sorry Camels team. I think y'all going to love this dude. I really do. Like, he's big and he's fast. He might be an emerging star in the Big 12 this year. Defensively, you hit a home run in the portal once again. Last year, the number one player defensively in the portal ended up Ohio State. Ohio State won the national championship. Also from Alabama, Caleb Downs. This one's from Alabama. Also number one in this portal cycle. Plays defensive tackles, Jeheim Oatis. And my man's at 55 tackles 2 years. Played for Nick Saban. Played for Kalen DeBoer. I think he's going to help you pick up where B.J. Green is leaving you off and can develop into an All-American. He's got that kind of potential. Number 14 player coming out of high school in Columbia, Mississippi. Get it out the mud, Mississippi. Middle Mississippi. You can't get me to go north of Jackson. I don't want to go north of Rankin County. Don't call me to go to West Point when Hattiesburg High play. Don't call me to go to South Panola, which is damn near Memphis. I'm not doing it. Don't call me to go to Yazoo City. I don't want, no. We got to keep it Southern Mississippi. I was raised in Hattiesburg, Southern Miss. And don't you get caught wearing them Ole Miss colors south of Rankin County. If you know, you know. You can wear LSU. You can wear Alabama. You can wear Auburn. You can wear Mississippi State. Don't wear no Ole Miss colors round me, round us. It's black and gold through and through in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. When it ain't, it's yellow and gold. Hattiesburg High. Keeping it buck with y'all. But I am telling you, Columbia, Mississippi throw down. They've been making some dudes. N'Kobe Dean from Mississippi. People forget this. Mississippi be putting out some hitters. You know what I'm saying? Just some monsters coming out of Mississippi. People forget this. But, that's what happens when you come from the poor state in the union. People want to look over you and whatnot. He's also going to be, I think, helped by Arden. Arden Walker going to be a dude, man. 4.5 sacks last year at the linebacker spot. Carter Startmeyer's back, had 43 tackles. The McKinneys, RJ and DJ, they're going to be pretty good at defensive back. I think Robert Livingston's going to have everything he needs to field what is going to be a really fun defense to watch once again. And it might need to be because the schedule is deceivingly difficult. Deceivingly. There are only like 2 games on the schedule that I expect them to win and only 1 game that I might expect them to lose, right? You get Delaware, so you're going to go beat up on the Blue Hens, right? One of the newest teams to the FBS, right? When they scheduled this game, they were not. So maybe you want to go another way. Wyoming, you ought to beat them. right? Kansas State might be the toughest one you face, but there are only 3 top 25 preseason top 25 programs on the schedule for me. Iowa State, Arizona State, Kansas State. That's it, right? After that, you're going to be in a dogfight most weeks because top to bottom, the Big 12 is, really, really thick. But we're going to figure out a lot about this team when they play Georgia Tech. I made an allusion to this earlier when I was talking about, last month, when I was talking about what this game might mean because it's going to be a matchup of 1991 national champions, which is fun. But Georgia Tech is not a top 25 team, but it is stout. And they were so good last year that they won 7 games. But those 7 games were enough for them to make rings. That's how good they felt about it. And you know what? When you take Georgia into 8 overtimes in Sanford and you damn near get it done, yeah, you got to feel good about that. You really do. They lost a lot too, but Haynes King is back, even if Eric Singleton is not. This is a place that made Jahmyr Gibbs into Jahmyr Gibbs before he went to Alabama and became Jahmyr Gibbs, right? They know what they got over there. I think it's going to be a really interesting game. I also think that Kaidon Salter can be the difference. Just like Haynes King can be the difference, Kaidon Salter can be the difference. Why? Because that man can take off with the football, okay? If Georgia Tech cannot contain Kaidon Salter when a broken play gets fixed, you got a problem. Every broken play needs to be one where he gets hit. You gotta make them go somewhere else. You gotta make him get rid of the football. Because if you let Kaidon Salter play point guard back there, it's gonna be a long day for you. If you can contain Kaidon Salter, you're gonna have to help Colorado that your run game actually exists this year. Otherwise, it can get out of hand real quick because Georgia Tech will just sit on you, and that'll be that. I'm excited about that game because I think it's low-key going to have a lot to do with how we look at the playoff, frankly, because teams that got to play Colorado, teams that got to play Georgia Tech that we know are going to be in the playoff conversation, they're probably going to point to this game as something like a tiebreaker. Who won it? How did they win it? What did it look like? And again, it's the first look we have at Colorado without one of Prime's sons on the team. Never seen that before. This will be it, right? We're going to see what that looks like. Last time that was actually kind of true, sort of true, Jalen Jones was quarterback at Jackson State. And Prime was still learning how to do this job. It's gotten real good, real quickly, real fast. But for me, I expect this team to go and win 9 games. I do. I think the losses will be mostly predictable, but as long as you don't get run on for no 2-3 bills by Kansas, you might be in every game you play, which is exactly where Colorado needs to be. And frankly, y'all need to get a little bit more on the good foot with this. Why is Prime getting more than $10 million a year to coach Colorado? Because that's what he's worth at Colorado. They didn't even have an identity. They were sorry before he got there, and they are so happy to be in the conversation that they will pay to stay in it. I ain't mad at that. Why